two. Uh. Hi, my name is Ron Blake. I've been a Rico artist for 20-something years, and I'm on the faculty, jazz faculty at the Juilliard School, and I'm also a baritone saxophonist and flutist with the NBC Saturday Night Live band. You can catch me there on Saturday nights, usually about 11:30. And otherwise, you can find me online at www.ronblakemusic.com.
Hi, I'm Anthony Cekay. I run the Page 4 Music podcast, and I play the saxophone. I play tenor and soprano. You can find me each Thursday at Parnell's Restaurant on 53rd and 1st, playing from 10 p.m. till midnight. And you can find me online at www.page4music.com. It's an online podcast series that fosters discourse within the music industry. We bring together creatives, financiers, administrators, everyone from the music industry to have a discussion about the music industry and about what's happening day to day. You can tune in Monday through Friday for a different podcast, and I encourage you to check out the site. So Ron, you and I both play Rico saxophone products. I use Rico Reserve 3.5 reeds and the Rico H-style ligature. What do you play?
I've played on a wide range of Rico products over the years, depending on my setup. But currently, I'm playing Rico Grand Select on my tenor and soprano and alto setups. I like this reed because it has a lot more wood on it. I like the French cut. But I found that because there's a little bit more wood on this reed, a little bit more resistance, I can play on a softer reed and get the sound that I really like. But it really depends on my setup. For example, on Barry sax, I play at SNL. I play Jazz Select unfiled 3 mediums, and I've used those for years, and that seems to be the reed that I keep coming back to. I've tried other reeds on Barry, but I keep coming back to that one. That seems to be the most consistent for me, and in that situation, it gives me, the flexibility. Lenny Pickett writes hard Barry parts, and I need to be able to get around the horn pretty easily. And I found that reed, of all the reeds I've tried, I keep coming back to that one on Barry. And I've used those reeds on my other setups as well, but I've gravitated towards the Grand Select now with my tenor and soprano and the alto with my current setups on LaBelle. They just seem to work for me. I play on bigger chamber mouthpieces, so I tend to need a softer reed, and the softer reeds in the Grand Select, like I said, there's enough wood on there that I can push and have something to meet me, but it still gives me that flexibility and the warmth that I'm looking for.
Now, I know our setups are both, well, they're similar in a lot of ways in that we both use large chamber mouthpieces. They're different fundamentally in that I have a relatively small tip on mine. This is a Theo Wani custom-made wooden mouthpiece that has a 7 tip on it. And I'm able to use the Rico Reserve reeds because, like you said, they can run harder, and I'm able to play with a 3.5 on there. And if I want to go harder than that, if I want to play a 4 or 4.5, I can get that too. And if I need to go a little softer, I can too. So it gives you a little bit more control and flexibility over that. And what I really like about these reeds is that they stay consistent when you're playing them. So if I play a show, it feels the same at the end of the night as it did when I put it on there.
Yeah, that's always something that you're looking for, especially when you're traveling, going from climate to climate and playing at different altitudes. Something that's going to respond for you the same way every night. And I play on a much bigger setup than you do, and I have a pretty big tip opening, so that's one of the reasons why I have sort of gravitated towards the softer reeds, but my you know, my mouthpieces are custom made, so I can only guess, but I would think that my tenor mouthpiece is close to a 10, you know, and short facing and just a pretty wide tip opening. So this is what works for me. But you know, I tend to, especially in the summer, I might gravitate towards a harder, slightly harder reed, or the harder 2.5s in the boxes, or even a 3 if I can find soft ones, just because during that time of the year, the reeds don't seem to respond. They respond differently, you know, in the humidity and stuff like that. So that's the only change that I make, I would say, is a seasonal one. In the summertime, I tend to play on a slightly harder reed, or if I'm playing a lot. If I'm practicing a lot and I'm playing my horn like regularly, I tend to play on slightly harder reeds. But for the most part, I've been comfortable with the sound that I've been able to get with the Grand Select, and the response. You know, it's giving me what I want. And I'm trying to go for a darker sound ultimately. I mean, I don't know what it sounds like on the other side of the bell, but I'm hearing myself darker, you know, back here, and this is what's been working for me.
And I like the reserves because they are dark too. But they also bring out the woody quality of my mouthpiece and the gruff quality of my horn. And in conjunction with the H-style ligature, it responds very, very well. And I don't lose any response, but I get to keep that big, dark sound, the gruffness that I like when I'm playing.
Right. That's great.